Welcome everyone to Dead Talk Live, and today our special guest is Avery Konrad from EPIX new show called From. Avery, thank you for being here with us. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It is, like I said, it is my pleasure. Uh, a lot of people are just hearing about the show now. It's sort of like a Once Upon a Time meets the Twilight Zone. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
familiar with the Once Upon a Time about the town. So basically, guys, this show is about a town that once you go in, you cannot escape. There's no way out. It just keeps looping around, and it's only 3 episodes in. It airs on Sundays. We're getting episode number 4 this Sunday. Avery plays the character of Sarah. Now, with that in mind, have you ever done anything that is similar to From before in your career?
I've dabbled in some horror, definitely. I kind of have been drawn to those types of roles just because I love how heightened everything is, and it's always a challenge, which I enjoy. I played Colors of Sarah, nothing as in depth and as deep and as layered as she is, but definitely Colors of her for sure.
Now, when you booked the role and you got to see this character that you were going to be playing, was it given to you? Was the whole character arc for the first season given to you at once, or were you getting little bits at a time, episode per episode?
I was given episode per episode. So I only knew pretty much as far as what you guys know thus far in this season when I initially booked the role. Not even that much, actually. Um, I was in episode 2. One of my audition scenes was one of the scenes I do in episode 2. And she kind of has this monologue scene that I read for one of my auditions, and I really connected with the writing and the material and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I had to work with.
So when you got to read Sarah and see this character that you're going to be playing, what were your feelings? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Uh, just tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I my approach to anything that I get is that they hired me for a reason. I have something to offer to this role. They liked my view on Sarah, my take on Sarah, and she was written so beautifully flawed. So props to John, our creator. And my goal with Sarah, because it was written so well and the show is amazing, I just wanted to be as truthful as possible in these heightened circumstances and what that would look like. And that's kind of what I was focusing on throughout the series.
When you book a role, for Sarah, how important to you is a backstory? If the writers or directors don't give you a backstory, do you sort of fill in a backstory for your character on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always definitely really important in any story that you're telling. You need to fill in those blanks on your own. And I worked a lot off camera with Paul Zeno, who plays Nathan, my brother, and
Mm-hmm.
we chatted a lot before we got to set and talked about our history and what that looked like, and just building a relationship with him before we started was super helpful because their relationship and Nathan is her anchor and her motivation and her inspiration as well, in this
Absolutely.
in this messed up world that they're in.
Uh, and I would take it a step further the episode as the episodes go on, and we start to learn more about Sarah. Is it safe to say that your brother is the only person that you actually trust in this town?
I I mean, when it comes down to it, yes, I do think that Sarah really wants to love everybody, even if she doesn't go about it the right way. Um, But I mean, if you're lucky enough to be caught there with your family, they're definitely your anchor, as I said before, and who you turn to at the end of the day, and look to for comfort and reassurance.
Okay, that's a great answer. Now, when you saw the final product on TV or screen or whatnot, what did you think of the gore factor that they added into this show? Where these entities, we don't have a clue what they are yet. I'm sure more is going to be revealed as the show goes on, but they didn't hold back. These things are, the way they kill is not nice. What did you think
Yeah.
of the whole special effects and the gore factor?
I mean, the special effects team was absolutely incredible, and their work was insane. I mean, when you would walk on set and you would walk past something intense without me saying too much, it looks so realistic. So, I mean, yeah, it was daunting at times because it was so realistic, but that's props to them because they did such an unreal job. They're so talented.
Now, Sarah is what I would describe a socially awkward girl, quiet,
Yes.
keeps to herself. The only person that we have seen you really talk to so far is your brother. Now we get to the scene that really shocked me when you're in the infirmary with the driver of the car, and the way that unfolded. First with a kiss that was very inappropriate, and I was like, "Whoa, what was that about?" And then what followed afterwards. When you were reading through that script, you're like, man, how am I going to play this out? Did you try different stuff? How did you actually settle onto how you were going to bring that onto the screen?
Yeah. So I had help from my acting coach, Deb Podowski. I'm in her studio right now. So
Nice.
I had help from her, before shooting, as well as I had a conversation with Jack specifically about that scene, just because it's such a huge reveal of the demons, inward and outward, as far as Sarah goes. And um, yeah, I think once I got in the headspace, and Jack's so amazing, obviously, at giving me the right notes in the right space, and John was there supporting me as well. Um, that was actually my first day of shooting doing that scene.
Wow.
I was a little bit nervous just because it's a bit of a daunting scene, but I think having that adrenaline, having it be my first day, in the long run helped me kind of get into the headspace. Excuse me. But yeah, I think as difficult as it was to do that scene, I'm happy with how it came out, and
Oh yeah,
I'm very happy with how unnerving it was to watch. I
it
think we
was. It was.
accomplished the goal.
And it really shocked me. I did not see that coming. I saw that kiss that you gave him while he was laying in the bed as sort of like, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. Sarah is a person in that episode that we see is not in control of her actions. Uh, we don't know what's going on. I mean, there's no real spoilers to give, but these entities that live and reside in the woods that only come out at night uh, communicate with her in some way that we don't know why. It's just her, and I'm sure as it goes on we're going to learn more and more. So for me, Sarah is a very multi-layered character. uh, you know a lot more than we do, but is that a fair assessment?
Oh, 100%. There's so many layers to Sarah, and again, that's all thanks to John and his he had this show in progress for years, so everything is very mapped out and calculated. So yeah, that's definitely a fair assessment to say.
Would you say your brother on the show, you've confided in him and he knows exactly what's going on with you, but you guys are keeping it hush hush from everyone else in the town?
As far as episode one goes, you can kind of see in our first interaction with Sarah and Nathan that he can kind of see that something's going on, and because they know each other so well, and she's trying to, keep it down, but it gets to a point where she kind of shatters a little bit.
Yeah.
But as far as that goes, I think that yeah, he has seen her deal with some demons, so to speak, in the past. I don't know if he's seen anything of this magnitude
No.
before. Yeah.
Okay. So she does have some kind of an abilities, whether she's a psychic medium, a sense, we don't know, but the entities are communicating with her. We know that much. Uh, if you were to step outside your role and look at this area, the town that people go in but they don't come out, would you say it's completely like supernatural, or is it something in the land itself uh, that is not being controlled by any entities? It's sort of the earth, the land on where this town resides in, or is it just a place that is just flat out haunted? What are your thoughts on that town in itself?
Yeah, I mean, my theories, we don't have any, I don't have any answers.
Hmm.
That's all, we're kind of learning again as we're getting the scripts as you are when you're watching the show. And I'm sure I love that there are going to be so many theories as to what that is. I think that that's kind of part of the magic of the show is
Hmm.
there's so many possibilities of what it could be and what it is. And I think that's open to everybody's interpretation. So I don't want to put an idea in somebody's head to make them think that it's one thing or another. I think that's up to you guys to decide,
Yeah.
and whatever that means for you.
Exactly. Everyone's going to have their own interpretation. Now, the next character that I think is very interesting is Scott McCord's character, Victor. Uh, we hear throughout the first three episodes, and it seems that he is one of the original people to land in that town who's still around. Are you fascinated with where they're going to take Victor's character to see exactly
Uh,
what his role is going to be?
I I think everyone's gonna weirdly fall in love. I mean, with every character, I really love Victor, and Scott, who plays Victor, is brought such a unique voice to who this character is, and really he really draws you in and makes you want to know more about this town and what his story is.
Hmm.
And yeah, as you'll watch everyone's story unfold if you just continue watching the show. But yeah, he's that storyline is very interesting, and yeah, he's so interesting to watch, very talented.
Definitely, definitely. It's still early, but this show is starting to get some recognition, and it has the potential to be a really, really big hit. What is the onset environment like with the rest of the cast? Did you guys click right away? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, because it was an ensemble cast, there's so many of us. Um, but because we were all shooting on location, so it was kind of like from in a weird way. We were all kind of picked and plucked into this place, and made our own family throughout the cast, and we all got along so well. We were just like kind of like this dysfunctional family. We'd get together on the weekends, and we went sailing, and we celebrated Thanksgiving together. And yeah, I think I always loved to tell everyone how much we love each other so much, and I think that that's what brings such great chemistry to the show, no matter who's in a scene with somebody, because we genuinely all have relationships with one another and friendships with one another offset. That when you're on set and you're working with someone, that we have a friendship to work off of, which is really cool, especially when you have that many people. For everyone to get along is kind of amazing. So yeah, it was great, and everyone, I have nothing but good things to say about everyone, and they're so talented. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, another fascinating part is how the town is sort of split. You have the
Yeah.
community, the town, and then the what's it called? The community house.
The
The
colony
the
house.
col yeah the colony
Yeah.
house. Why do you think that is? Why do you think at some point in the history of this town, with the ones that have been there the longest, this division happened where one group of people went to the house and others stayed within the town?
I think I think just some people needed orders and needed rules and a set of rules to follow and that sort of thing. I know me personally, if I happened to be in the town, I would or like stuck in the town, I would be in live in the town just because I'm very regimented and I like things a certain way. But the colony house is sort of the more free spirited people, and they kind of the more artistic people as well are living in that house. I think it also makes the show super interesting to see how drastic the town people are from the colony house. Like they're very different flavors, which
Hmm.
I think brings a whole new aspect to the show, which is really interesting to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, the sheriff. We got to talk about Boyd's character, played by Harold. He's sort of like the glue that brings everything together and is holding the show together so far.
Oh
Very
yeah.
strong, powerful character. He is the sheriff of the town, and there's a little conversation that goes on between him and the colony house where they talk about an arrangement. So, are we to believe that the sheriff really has no say about what happens at the colony house?
As far as that, I think that conversation goes is you could look at it that way, or my interpretation, again, I don't want to say that this is right or wrong, was because of his son is there.
Mm-hmm.
His son is at the colony house, and they kind of have some history that they haven't worked out yet. So it's a touchy thing for him to be up there.
Okay, and you know, they don't really want him around, is the indication that we get. But at the end, they all do sort of work together. They have the choosing ceremony. All newcomers who end up winding up in the town, they get a choice. They can either stay at the colony house or they can stay in the town. The new family that wanders in the premiere, all except the daughter pick the town, but the daughter separates.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Jessie is the character's name.
Julie.
Julie.
Yeah.
Why would you think? What makes you think Julie? Is it her just being a teenager and asserting her independence from her parents, where she chooses the colony house as opposed to the town?
I think as far as that goes, in the choosing ceremony, and specifically Julie, this might be the first time she's ever been, had to practice some sort of independence because she is really young and she's
Mm-hmm.
in these weird circumstances. And also, the people there have shown her support in some sort of way maybe she's not getting from her family, and friendship and teaching her new things and that sort of thing. So as far as rebelling goes, yeah, I think that's an aspect of it, but I think she's discovering more of who she is as a person up there than she would maybe down in the town. I don't know. This is again kind of what my take is
Yeah.
on how that's sort of playing out.
Now, you guys are still shooting the first season. Is that accurate?
No, we wrapped season 1 in October.
Okay, awesome. So you know how the season is going to go. Uh, we as fans, should we be like really excited? Are things going to escalate, elevate? We're going to learn more about these entities. Are we going to see conflicts between the living people? Are we going to see conflicts between Colony House and the town? I know you can't give away any secrets, but Should we be, on the edge of our seats in anticipation?
I definitely think so. I think I was just saying earlier, every episode's like a storybook or like a chapter, and you learn something new, and something new comes up, and there are new obstacles, and all of those things that you were talking about are sure colors of what's to come. And yeah, I mean, I hope everyone continues to tune in to watch the mystery unfold, because it's going to be a good one.
With Sarah, your character, with each episode, you've been acting for a while. Did you find is this character has really pushed your boundaries?
Definitely. I mean, Sarah's such a layered person, and it was a huge challenge. I haven't played a role for like to be able to sustain that arc throughout 5 months was a new challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a ton of support again from the cast, and my acting coach as well, to help me kind of, and then John and Jack as well. But yeah, it was definitely a challenge, for sure.
Would you you have done a lot of appearances, a supporting cast on shows where you come in for an episode or two. What's it like to be in something from the very beginning? I think this has potential to be a really big hit. As it goes on. Is there a difference as opposed to coming on for an episode or two, or being at the start of something very special?
It was such a magical experience to be able to be a part of specifically this show, just because of the people who are attached to it. And I mean, the cast is incredible on screen, just because when we're shooting, I don't necessarily get to see what everybody else is doing. You kind of see each other in passing on set. So to be able to see them do their thing now that it's come out is just like, I'm so incredibly proud of everybody and their performances, and this world that we've created together, and to have the opportunity and the privilege to have been there from the start is something I'll carry this character and this story for throughout my career, for sure.
Would you say are there any similarities between Avery and Sarah, or is she a completely different person from you?
I believe that every character kind of lives inside of you, and you have to do different things to bring it out. Obviously there are different aspects of her that are heightened, but she's in me for sure. I'm a bit kooky, so that part I didn't really need to push too hard to do. um but yeah, I think, like I said, there are definitely big aspects of me that are Sarah as well, and some things I had to pull that weren't me at all. But
Was the casting? I mean, when you read what I don't know, it's some casting directors you get very little information on the role itself. But how hard was the audition process to get this role?
I initially did one tape, and then a couple weeks later, I found out they wanted me for a callback, which was already kind of a dream come true, just because it was such a cool project, and
Mm-hmm.
characters this layer don't come around super often. And like I said, she already kind of felt like a part of me in a really weird way. So I did. Oh, and then they said, okay, no, we want her for a screen test. So I did the screen test over Zoom. And less than 24 hours later, I found out that I booked it, and then I was on a plane a couple weeks later. Um,
Congratulations, that is awesome.
thank you so much.
Your family, your acting coach must be very proud of you. You're doing a great job, Sarah. I cannot wait to see episode 4. Again, guys, the show is called From. It is on EPIX every Sunday night. They don't drop the whole season. They drop it episode week by week. So you have to wait for Sunday to get the new episodes. So you got time to catch up. It's only 3 episodes that are out. If you don't have EPIX, go ahead and sign up for the free trial. This show may get you to go well beyond the free trial. It's a great show. Avery, like I said, you're doing fantastic. And, Sarah so far is the most fascinating character because she's a big mystery and we just don't know what's going on with her. And I'm excited to find out what really is going on with this girl. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your experience with us. Are there any final thoughts you want to share before we go?
I mean, I hope that everyone tunes in and, yeah, enjoys watching this world that we've created and this mystery and really gets invested in it. And yeah, I hope you guys just enjoy it.
Uh, I'm sure they will. And, when you guys make it big time, don't forget to come back because I'm definitely going to want to talk again after the first season's over, so where you can give out some more information. So,
Yeah, I would.
absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in live. Thank you for those who are watching this later on. Again, a big thank you to our guest, Avery Konrad from EPIX new show from premiering every Sunday night. Thank you on behalf of Avery and myself. Stay safe and stay walking, guys. Good night.